Alright, greetings and salutations, everybody. I don't know why I'm running. I honestly don't. Let's just teleport back to the marketplace. Alright, so it is Monday. August 5th. And, yeah, it is tired time in the morning here. Let's actually get in our live stream voice chat in case people decided to join us this morning. Alright, there we go. I was just trying to get the Facebook stuff up where I could see what was going on in case anybody decided to actually use the Facebook comment section. I do apologize for the delay in getting started this morning. I'm just trying to make it where I can see all the people talking about all the things. See, my voice is trying to murder me here. My throat and my voice. It might be something with the CBD oil, actually. Seems to be an issue. But hopefully today will be a good day. It was a kind of rough weekend. The head was definitely treating me poorly. We got a lot of stuff done on the bus though, so that's good. Lots of cleaning. Lots and lots of cleaning. I'm just going to sell all this stuff I would normally deconstruct. I'm not going to take the time to go through it. We got a little bit of wandering around the Explorer area time last night while we were playing pen and paper. Not a ton, just a little bit here or there. It did give us, I don't know, like from here to here XP to get you know, a little bit of value, but nothing too insane, nothing too cray, just a little bit of value. All right, level 16. Oop. Normally at level 16 I would move into the Vale. Is that where we want to go? We also have some missing action. We have some Lost at Sea. We can do a little bit of stuff that's not quite in our level range, like just below us. Litany of the Dead, obviously. Yeah, we should probably run a little bit of this 15s before we move it into 16s, just for good measure. Seems fine. I know that if you're good at the, you know, some of these Purple Dragonite quests over here in Weloon, it's a really good XP per minute, but I am not good at them, so because I don't like them and I have a hard time seeing because I'm old. We already have our signet in our backpack. Nice. And we have a pocket person, so yeah, let's go do Litany. Let's just double check. I had paused this. I don't remember why I paused it. I was running something. I don't remember what. I had wanted it paused. All right. Now I may be able to breathe. I may be able to speak. Get a little bit of tea down my throat, and maybe it'll loosen up. If we can get that loose, we can maybe actually function like a real person, like a real boy. Again, I primarily do Litany because I just happen to love it. It is literally my favorite quests. So knock knock. That's why I'm so adamant about getting her done. Getting her done. Oh, also we need to make sure that the... I guess I'm not monitoring Facebook at the moment. Good morning, gamer. What's up? Hope you had a good weekend. The Samisless weekend treated you kindly. Hey Beef, good morning. Doing a little bit of litany here just because we love it. It's our big boy quest. It's our favorite. See if that quail will come get us. I don't want to go back for it. Feeling lazy. Feeling lazy. It can come get us if it wants us so bad. Man, mine. Yeah, everything looks like it's on. I just don't want to be tripped. Just don't want to be tripped. Alright, let's go. Should be okay here, right? Should be able to just auto attack this guy for the most part. And we'll smash our buttons when they're free, but oh, that feels good. See if we make it out. Once again, I just turned on a open playlist. This one I have not approved. So there's very likely going to be a bunch of songs that I normally would not go for here. Wow, danced and held. Alright, maybe I overestimated my ability to kill this quail. Alright, no, we're fine. Can I get a oh, you don't have a proper heal, do you? I just assumed you had a heal. Alright, well. I mean, I guess technically I could cast my own heal on my own self. Get rid of all these penalties. I don't know. I'm on the fence. So, big plans for today, anybody? I'm hoping to start fiddling with the locking mechanism on the bus myself personally today. If it all arrives, I bought a bunch of wiring and stuff for it last night. A bunch of stuff I probably should have already bought, but I didn't think about in time. What's on the agenda for the rest of the Horc lives? I don't know, actually. Nobody really had any great suggestions. The only one that I know for sure is I'd like to do a I think I want to do one monk-based Horc life. A strength-based Horc. Or monk. Hey, is this the spell I think it is? Oh yeah. It was. Well, that's like a really awkward pile of stuff there, bud. There's also a possibility that we're going to take a break from Samius and do a quick, possibly iconic, probably iconic actually, on Butters, and try to get her ready for post level 20 stuff with Tobrel. Litany of the Dead, nobody does this. I do Litany of the Dead every life. I love Litany. It's my favorite quest. Even if all I do is the one run through and one boss, is still my favorite quest, so I do it every life. I should try a strength-based Tempest Ranger. I'm not opposed to that at all, actually. We have not done a two-weapon fighter in a while. I was actually also kind of thinking about taking a look at one of the mall clerics, but I don't know if you have to be a specific race for that or not. How dare you quail my healer. Yeah, I don't think there's a reason to anymore, but Talab was running Abbott's recently. Trying to get his quiver, and he finally pulled it, so now I don't think I have to actually flag for the Abbott raid. I was going to flag just to help be a puller, but it seems like it's not necessary now, so that's a win for me. Oh, my cleric died. Well, I guess that means we're not doing an optional this morning, because I'd like to bring my cleric with me. And she won't come down here this far, so ooh, that could have been unfortunate. Could have been unfortunate. Alright, let's pull up the DDO puzzles because I'm lazy. And as I always do, quick little thing on DDO puzzles, you can get this in pretty much any of the stores. It's real simple. You just click whichever boss you want to do and it'll feed you the 15 answers. It's pretty great. Thanks, Grim. DDO puzzles. I am Samius. Let's begin. Why that seems like it was odd. Oh, I missed thought. We may just died. I don't remember how many of these you get to get incorrect. Alright, looks like you can miss one. Woo! Alright. I said no helper person. We're not going to try to do the quest. Butch DDO has added me to their auto host list. Thanks, my friend. Appreciate you. Hope you're having a good day. So yeah, anyway, I just enjoy the litany. And honestly, you know what, I'm going to run one more time. Because that's how much I like it. I'm going to get red on Elite. I probably don't need a healer for this, but it's nice that someone give you Death Ward. Let's get mad. Let's get really mad. So yeah, we over the weekend, Saturday, I think, I got to play a little bit of DDO off camera with Tobrel and Beef and Tlab, and I think Rhett literally just went AFK while or not AFK, went to bed as soon as I logged on. But we got to do some epic stuff that I haven't done in a long time. Dusted off my really terrible geared. I think the build is probably not that bad, actually. I was looking around on the forums, and I go 16-2-2 Bard, Fighter, Rogue. But it looks like a lot of people are doing 12-6-2. Basically, they're, excuse me, a lot of people are giving up the ability to dance a single target with no save for some more DPS. So it's possible I would follow a similar guideline. On my Bard build, but I'm also just really tempted to like play heal bot or do something completely different with her. I don't know. She's currently second life, which is part of the reason why I'm inclined to use her instead of just like power leveling Java bot up. Because I don't like I don't like the idea of power leveling up Java bot to try to play with Tobrel. And two, I don't love the idea of being a full-time heal bot, although it's totally reasonable to be one. It's just not my usual, like, it's not my go-to get her doneness. Wow, we're stuck on something. This song I like. This song sounds nice. Oh, I'm 2 in raid to stealth? Okay, well, never mind. I didn't know you could be too angry to hide in the corner. I've been pretty angry in my life. I feel like I've been able to hide in the corner when applicable. Guess I've never been so mad that I couldn't. I don't know. I feel like I've been plenty mad. I feel like I've been this amount of mad. Maybe I should pull out a bludgeoning weapon. Should probably be quicker. The difference is this is not the Barovian one that I thought it was. It's actually the Macabre. Which is actually kind of sweet on one hand because it gives you the extra healing. Now that guy finally respawned. This song's getting annoying. Maybe I'll put real music on. Hey Scotty, welcome to the stream. We're having a glorious afternoon. Or morning, or whatever it is, wherever you happen to be. Oh. Is this the window where the one fly is dead? It's currently being reincarnated as we speak. So I have like one fly in my office that flies around in here and constantly drives me bonkers. But then I'll get like 2 days where it's not around. It might be this window. It might be in the glorious window of it's not bothering me because it's dead. It's the phoenix of flies. Let's once again pull up our DDO Puzzles app. Once again, thank you, Grim. Kind of want to do Mental here. And let's begin. What? Oh. I would have done anything. Been making Nim's emotes and stuff this morning. Nice. Are you an accomplished artiste? They lack free spirit. Why can I not? This one. Like, why can I not find the button I'm looking for here? The Flashmaker. Nice. Alright, so how long did that take actually? 8 minutes? Yeah, it's pretty reasonable. Get us a quick heal. Let's go make with the Jakilling. You wouldn't say that? I know, I'm going to, if we can get there, and I think we bounce really close and then it kind of falls back. And then we get really close again and then it kind of falls back. But if we can get there and unlock our next emote, I'm going to be looking for a little school bus emote. We get within like 3 points and then I don't know what happens. Probably somebody gifts like 5 subs and then those subs wear off. Like, no! Like 2 subs away and then... So yeah, anyway. Definitely getting better where your stuff doesn't look like garbage. Yeah, I don't know. I'm pretty good at taking other people's stuff and slicing it together and cutting it and trimming it and making it look good for an emote, but making my own stuff's definitely hard. I don't know. One of the things that I'd like to make is a nice pre-starting the stream. Something I can turn on like a couple minutes before I'm actually ready to start. I probably should just edit together a video. And have, like, edit it to like Samius attack, Samius heal, Samius sings. We just have like all these different versions of Samius out there. But honestly, I should just make a still photo or whatever, and be like a checklist, checking off the checklist. I don't know, what I really want to do is I really want it to be like, you know, kind of like that meme of the Incredible Hulk. Hulk smash! Hulk attack! Hulk gave Ant-Man his tacos back. What program do I use for what? To do my editing? Like my my image editing? I use the GIMP. The GIMP, because it is the free. Not because I'm good with it. Because it is the free. I think this is okay. Whenever I decide there's something I want to do, I'll watch like a how-to video or something. Yeah, I use the GIMP for that. The GIMP. The GIMP's a good program, actually. It's just sometimes it's not very intuitive to like do something crazy. Okay, these are the 14 steps you want to do if you want to put a shadow box on. So like this emote in particular, see if it'll come up here, it should. Hey, the button. There we go. That emote in particular, I know it doesn't look like it at that size, but they're like both, they both have shading and curvatures and blah blah blah. Like that was actually, I probably spent 3 hours on that, getting it to where you could still read it, like the Solona is a little hard to read if you don't know what you're looking at. I think most people know what that's supposed to be. But it's got like curvatures and lighting and all sorts of shenanigans to it that was actually pretty difficult. You only feel hyped for Kenneth? Oh, well. Yeah, I don't know. I don't have to tell you about that. Everybody makes a mistake sometimes. Everybody rolls a 1 sometimes. Yours just happened to be when you picked a server. that's good. I know a lot of people that play on Canis still. I know a lot of Caniathans. I know a lot of people who were Canis bros and then they've recently moved to Solona.
Hey, good morning, Sam.
What's up, big dog?
How's it going?
Not bad. Trying to get my throat to not make me want to die, but other than that, not bad. You. Oh, Shining Devastation used to be great.
I'm doing alright. My back is screaming, but
Yeah.
getting old sucks, you know?
Usually it's not getting old, it's usually you've done something that you were not supposed to have done. Alright. Shining Devastation is hands down overpowered. I don't know about that. I'll take your word for it though. So I bought a portable air conditioner last night to try to stick in the bus to be able to work a little bit easier out there. And I know at some point I'm going to want to put some AC in there. And man, it did not work. I'm hoping that it's just got some safety thing in it. Why the gas is settling. Like maybe it had gotten jostled pretty good. Bringing it home or whatever. Otherwise I gotta go take it back today. That is a big expensive pain in my butt. Or time cost in my butt. You know what? Screw it. We'll keep those things to just deconstruct. There's no reason to get all high and mighty here. Alright. What else did we decide we were going to do? I'm missing. A couple of missings really quickly because it's so fast, and maybe a Lost at Sea. Why it's still near level appropriate? Yeah. Sounds right. Sounds good. Normally I would only do stuff that was my level, but we did kind of jump a little bit. So we're going to do some stuff that's a little over level. Is this where I went? Not where I parked my car.
I thought you parked the car with valet.
I meant to go to the harbor, but I mean, this will still work. The Shining Devastation is a fine weapon. I'll agree. Odds are strong that I will send it off to Voodoo to give away. There's a person.
Which one is the Shining Devastation?
It's a mall that like doesn't take damage and stuff.
Oh, okay.
It was the Muckbane upgrade until they decided to instead make a better version of it at level 6.
Oh, okay.
Basically. But let's see, it's like adamantine, everbright. It's got 2d6 force damage on it with a red slot or a great club. It does have extended critical naturally, so it is 1820 times 3. You know what? It's a fine weapon. Its big issue is that it binds on character on equip.
Yeah.
And it also looks like a big pink wiener. Oh, we gotta kill you because we gotta come back by this way, I think. I don't have a... I'm a D door, so let's swim back.
Always buy the guy with B door just for that quest.
I usually do, but I don't know. I was feeling extra lazy.
Marky Mark. I think I'm gonna try to push to 30 today.
Yeah, I was able to get 30 last night till bro logged on, and or I guess I should say I logged into the voice chat long enough for Tabrell to be like to talk me into running around. So
yeah, I'm getting tired of this past 20 stuff. So
so I don't like iconics. I don't like feeling trapped. But yeah, I think I don't know. I haven't decided. I need to continue to do some research on post 20 builds, cap builds, etc. My go-to source for this kind of information hasn't fed me a build that I like yet. The Swiss Army knife build, aka Beef. Beef hasn't sent me a build yet. But yeah, something with some CC, something with trapping abilities. Be nice if it had the ability to do something that wasn't completely scroll related. It still had reasonable DPS numbers.
well, Rhett's definitely the one to talk to about Barb stuff, but I don't know if he's the one to talk about Barb stuff for in-game.
Yeah, I don't know. Like I said, I don't think my build is that far off from some of the stuff I was looking at, but I guess a lot of people are doing 6 spider now instead of 16. Uh, 16 Bard.
Oh, okay.
I have a hard time not being 16 Bard. The Irresistible Dance is so good.
I gotta figure out what I'm gonna do next life, because I need another ranger past life.
I don't know. I really like Strim Tom's acid build concept for like ranged. Although apparently there's a strong possibility I'll be doing a 2-weapon fighting strength-based Tempest. Next go around.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, B threw it out there. He said he thinks I would really enjoy it, and I haven't done a 2-weapon fighter in a while, so. But I haven't done a melee outside of this life in quite a while. Which I am enjoying. I'm just not sure how much longer that's going to last. Love it when the bad guys don't take damage for a few seconds, and then all of a sudden they take all the damages. It's like, is this gonna kick in today? And it's like, bah. Good. And insanity. Insanity is good. It feeds the crystal nicely. Speaking of, I think what will end up happening is the one that I carry around as my trash can currently will get pulled out and sent over to Butters. And then Samius will pick up a different trash can. Crystal. I did not repeat. One more time here, and then I think we'll probably... Oh wait, no, we still have the Under the Sea quest to do. Under the sea. Under the sea. Killing the crabbies and I don't know, making them into patties.
Baddies?
Oh, I said Krabby Patties. Because you're killing the crabs.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. We'll see. See if I come up with a good rhyme later. I doubt it. Whew. Really surprised, actually, there's not a mermaid in that quest. Seems like a missed opportunity.
Kinda does.
It is not very DDO-like, though, for them to do overly punny rip-off things. They like to do smart jokes. But I think in my mind, the occasional, not like every single quest, but the occasional straight up pun quest I find to be enjoyable. Something where you just like do a bunch of different puns around the Little Mermaid. Or cameos, or whatever you want to call them, would be enjoyable. Right now we're not looking necessarily to get 10 kills because we're not on Reaper mode, but we do want to be sure to get in and out of the door. If we can keep it low enough, we can get the bigger bonus, the bigger not killing bad guys bonus, and that is
this is gonna be a print of thespian stage.
Yeah, just straight up print, or
Yeah, straight up print.
that seems odd. Is that in the commander stuff?
Yeah.
Okay, well that makes more sense.
So far, there's a reprint of Seedborn Muse and Thespian Stage.
Neither of those seem like a big deal.
No.
I know. I wish sometimes I liked Commander. Tried really hard
Yeah.
at first when it first came out. I get into pretty much every format when it first comes out. And then inevitably it's just a matter of how long it takes for people to turn it into a not fun format. Like, I still have a tiny leaders deck together, sitting behind me right now. And the reason why it's still fun is because I don't think I've played with anybody but Remington.
Yeah. This is a really weird card. It's 3 mana for an artifact. It enters the battlefield under an opponent's control of your choice, and then has an activated ability to pay 2, draw a card. You may put a land from your hand onto the battlefield, and the owner does the same thing.
I guess the reason why is because it costs so little. Why it specifically goes on the opponent's side of the battlefield is kind of weird, but
yeah,
who knows?
So they get to do it, and you get to do it. Just seems weird to me.
Well, I mean, everyone being able to do it, I guess, makes sense. I guess this way you do it to one person, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's not each opponent.
Yeah, it's just one person.
That's probably why.
Looks like a reprint of Ixodron, the guy that you can turn when he enters turn all the cards face.
That card's fine.
Turns off a lot of commanders, is what I like about it.
So I started doing solar research last night again. And it turns out I continue to know nothing. Like, honestly, Jon Snow may know more about sizing my batteries and getting the solar panels that I need together than I do. Not sure.
You should ask him.
Yeah, maybe. The thing is that I'm pretty sure I found the batteries I want. So now it's just a matter of finding how to charge said batteries efficiently.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it's such a nightmare. Such a long... Oh, nice. A second insanity. Yeah, we killed too many monsters, so we only got the 7% bonus. I said I think exactly 10 is the... or less is the 10% bonus. But anyway, what was I saying? Oh yeah, the figuring out these lifelong decisions, or you hope they're lifelong decisions, right? It's something that you hope that you don't have to replace.
Yeah.
But like, there's batteries, for example, is something that has a lifespan on it. You know, a battery's gonna last 5 years for the most part. So I found the new batteries that like, they're like these new gel insert ones, so there's no need for venting or anything as long as you keep them at around 77 degrees or lower, I guess. So basically, if you can keep them at room temperature, you're in good shape. But and they'll last 10 plus years. So like 10 plus years as opposed to like your 5 years at maximum. Seems like a reasonable investment for an extra $50 a battery. But after that, like, I get completely lost. If there's a solar expert out there in the chat, please message me. Alright, so when Tobro clicked this the other day, it was basically 1,000 XP. This is 1,000 XP. I will be on board. No, that's 400 XP. What? Okay. There's a few hundred XP, and my screen went black for what, 10 seconds? I don't know. I have no idea what happened there.
New feature.
New feature.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
Feature
Hello.
of your character like closing his eyes, going, "Yes,
I did it.
mm-hmm.
Alright, can you please crit a couple of times here? We're getting close on hit points. Starting to actually panic. Starting to panic.
Making bolts so you can kill the bad guys is usually a good idea."
I know you got your theory for how crazy this next magic set's going to be to lab.
The actual set or the commander set?
The actual set. So we're really not that far away.
Hopefully good. I mean, it looks interesting at least.
What? They've showed, like, I don't even think they even showed a card yet, have they?
They've showed pictures, like this is the art for the set.
Yeah, like artwork.
Yeah, and based off the art, it could be cool. I mean, it's like from what I've seen of the art, it looks like it could be interesting. I don't know mechanically if it's going to be good.
I feel like I overpulled. I'm not sure what I did. I have a feeling that I was not in a reasonable position.
I mean, what do you think?
I think the last time they did fairies, it was a bad idea, and I think regardless of what they say, it's going to be more fairies.
I mean, Rosewater said that there's going to be fairies there, but it's not going to be the main focus.
Yeah. He also lied to us about Emrakul, the other set, or whatever.
That's true. When he said it's definitely not Emrakul, and then it was Emrakul.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
He is one of those people that you know he's lying because his mouth is moving. Let's try this again. Again, maybe the stairs messed me up there. Maybe I shouldn't have been on the stairs.
I take it you're not the biggest fan of Rosewater, huh?
Actually, I really like Rosewater. A lot of his stuff, his concepts, specifically the psychotropic profiles, I think is something that more game designers need to develop and incorporate into their own games. Specifically for like in DDO, I feel like it applies heavily to dungeon design, item design, stuff like that. And I wish more people would read his work when it comes to that kind of stuff and design dungeons, gear, equipment, etc. So you should be able to look at an item and go, oh, this is definitely a Johnny sword. Right? Like, right. Maybe the stats on it aren't that great, but maybe the artwork is... It's, like, big and fancy looking. Mm-hmm. Like, I feel like that kind of stuff should definitely be considered. But when it comes to him telling me the truth about what's coming up in his set, I just don't believe it. Yeah. Not buying it. I don't know, I guess I was also kind of buying into the idea that it would be like a cold set. Back to snow-covered lands and such.
We just got snow-covered lands and...
Well, that was the idea, is that they like to put in these teasers a couple of sets out. for what's coming, and then you're like, oh man, these snow-covered lands are you know, only good in modern or whatever, and then bam, there they are, and it puts a big run on that specialty set again.
I mean, it's possible that we'll still get that.
Yeah, I'm not. I don't feel like it's super likely that we're gonna get cold and fairies together.
No, but I mean, like, in one of the other upcoming sets, like, I'm pretty sure that we're going to Phyrexia after this.
Yeah, I don't know.
There's been a lot of Phyrexian, like, hinting at in the last couple of sets. Like, Khan is saying that he's going to go back to Phyrexia and blow it up, and the commander, they've got, like, one of the Phyrexians as a commander.
Oh yeah, that's the like triple Phyrexian mana 4 guy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, someone was like trying to talk me into playing. Like, this is definitely your commander card. I'm like, what? How's that even close to what I would play in commander?
Yeah, I don't know. I think that he's good in the 99. I don't think he's a good command.
Yeah, I don't know.
He's absolutely absurd in that old Nightmare Lord, the one that you can pay 3 black to return a creature from any graveyard.
Okay.
He's like absolutely absurd there.
Maybe I don't know what that guy does. I just remember
He's like all nightmares get +1/+1, and then you can pay 3 black and 3 life and return a creature card from any graveyard to play under your control.
oh. I don't know, he's alright, I guess. I think he was basically just a guy telling me that I could lose a bunch of life if I wanted to play my commander.
And the problem is that you still have your commander attack stuff.
No, we started putting together Commander Bingo. I'm going to try to do a Commander bingo list for people at the arena. Print out some Commander bingo sheets. If you have any interesting things, feel free to like make a note somewhere for me.
Yeah, I'll think about it.
You're welcome to steal the sheets, although I will put, like, all the arena stuff all over it like I always do. I like to use the arena logo as like a watermark when I can.
Yeah, this encounter definitely has to be bugged. Like the one where you have like the 2 necromancers, you gotta kill them, and like they just keep standing back up.
What quest?
It's just Slayers. Someone told me that the best way to do level 27 to 30 is Slayers.
This pretty much is. If you have a pot and you have a group, it's really quick. Slayers are very, very vast way to get up there.
I have neither one of those.
Well, if you're by yourself, then you probably should just go do Shard. Lots and lots of Shard. Hey Tyler, welcome to this stream over on the Facebooks. Trying to keep an eye on what's going on over there. Would you mind typing something in the chat for me and see if it pops up in the chat box? It's been acting really squirrely. If I run a test, it seems to work, but when other people run a test, it doesn't seem to do the job, and I'm not sure why. I'll also say I think and this is always sounds real bad, but I worked myself sick yesterday. So I was cleaning the roof of the bus, right? Because it's probably has not been really cleaned in 10 years. You know, so I was sitting there cleaning it. Scrub pad, scrubbing above your head. The bus was getting pretty hot. And I got that I'm going to start puking feeling. That, you know, I'm usually pretty good at overcoming that feeling because, you know, I get it pretty consistently with the migraines. And, man, I worked through it. I feel like ass. I think I worked myself sick. Oh.
Sucks, man.
Oh, it's fine. It happens. This is a trap. I forgot. That needle is a trap. Alright. So, I think that's most of the 15s that we were looking at. Might kind of catch up on those 15s. I mean, there's a couple other ones that we could probably do. Like if we just want to go ahead and make this rank. But I think what we'll probably do is just go ahead and move into the Veil. Security detail. Oh, we haven't even done the we didn't even do the cogs yet. Maybe we need to go do some cogs work, actually. Yeah, it'd probably be better to do some cogs.
It's part of the login.
Yeah. So what I'm going to do real fast is I'm going to take a quick break here. I'm going to go wash my face a couple of times. And bio, I'll be right back. Throw up the bio sheet. Say what?
Get the intermission music going.
Yeah, something like that. So I'll be back in just a minute or two, people. I think what, Matt, I'm gonna switch the lighting too. Oh no, the CBD oil is like It's really helping with the pain. But the secondary symptoms that you normally, at least I normally don't think about that much as being that big of a deal, are just like, wow, that's a way different story when that's right in your face. Instead of pushing through the pain, it's like, hey, by the way, you want to vomit because you're spinning in circles now. It's like, oh, that's fun. I'm now using my modern, one of my modern decks as a fan stand. It's probably not the best use for that, huh?
Yeah, it depends on what kind of modern deck it is. What modern deck is it?
I believe that is my red-white prison deck. Yeah, we should probably just go back to Sharn.
An Australian streamer that we threw to a while back. I have been watching him play Modern a lot lately. He just insists on playing Martyr Frog. And I'm like, you gotta realize, that's just not working Modern. Like, I don't get it. Why am I not winning?
Modern Frog?
Frog. Martyr Frog.
Oh. Yeah, I don't know.
It's that it's built all around that one creature that you can like pay one and reveal cards from your hand and you gain life equal to
right.
like the white cards.
Right. Martyr of Sands.
Yeah, it's like the fairest of fair decks, and he's like, I don't get why I'm not winning. And I'm like, I have an idea.
Yeah, you can't be the fair deck guy in Modern, unfortunately. You
Especially
can be
in
the
meta right now.
Jund Frog, which is what I thought you were trying to say, was Jund Frog.
No.
But
Jund is about as close to fair as you get in Modern.
Yep, that is the fairest of the decks that are illegal. I don't know, I'm not a big Modern guy. I really hope that my theory that they're going to start pushing Heroic within a year or two after, yeah, the Heroic, with a year or two after it's on Arena, I think they'll push it super, super hard. And they'll get like, we'll have some, we'll still have like one Modern Mythic Championship maybe, and some GPs, but it'll become like the GP and like standard thing, and then no, I think they'll push it real hard.
I like Modern, so I wish that it wouldn't go away.
Yeah, I dislike Modern, and I wish it would go away. And I think it's problematic.
So?
I feel like the hosers are usually too good. Like, just think about how many decks die if you play a Blood Moon on turn 2.
Yeah.
You know, and it's like, that's... I don't think that's really what they want long term. Same thing with, like, how many decks now?
That's just deck building, you know? Like, if you know that you're going to get hosed, you know, turn 2 by Blood Moon, maybe you should have an answer to Blood Moon in your main board.
Oh, yeah, but the thing is that, you know, you often don't have room for main deck Blood Moon stopping and
then you
Chalice of the Void on
learn,
1 or 2.
You lose to turn game 1, you know, and then you go to sideboard and you usually have something in the sideboard.
Right. Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, there's.
I play Scape Shift. I lose to Blood Moon, and after on game 2, I bring in Destructive Revelry and I don't lose to it.
You should probably still lose a heavy percentage of the time.
I have a lot of Blood Moon hate in my sideboard for
But Yeah. Anyway, they there's a lot of those kind of things that they kind of add up and they become problematic. I think like I obviously play Ensnaring Bridge, right?
Yeah.
Like that is not a card that I think is conducive to what they really want Magic to be like.
Yeah.
I think same thing with like the newest Gristlebrand turn 2 deck. I just don't think that that's something that they want the format to be like. Yeah, turn 3 decks. Okay, but a turn 2 deck,
I mean, that's the whole reason we have bannings.
Yeah, but that's part of the reason I think that they're gonna just slowly do away with it. As you see Heroic taking off in Arena, people want to play it in paper, and then as that transition occurs.
Yeah, but the problem is that Historic is going to end up being the same thing. At some point, there's going to be combos that are just going to be like turn 2s.
And at some point, when that starts to happen, you either use your bannings, or you like work in a new one. And then a couple years after it starts to get a little bit better established, you fade it out. And Modern will just become like the next legacy.
Right.
Which is part of the reason I personally feel that I would much rather have just like a bigger rotating format. I realize that people want to buy their cards once and just like buy into a deck and not worry about it anymore, except for the occasional upgrades. But personally, I would much rather have things rotate.
I'm more worried about for Magic as far as like their future is concerned. I think that they should go down the route that Pokemon has done, where they have their online format like they do, the Pokemon TCG or whatever. I think that they should, every pack that you buy should have a equivalent for the online. Even if it costs a pack, if your pack's raised by 50 cents, so what,
I don't dislike the idea, but I don't think it's, I think they're too far past that point. I think they're too used to getting their dollars from the online pack sales.
Oh, I know that they are, and that's why I don't think they'll do it, but I think they should. I think it would be a wise business.
Yeah, I think what they, like on the back of tokens or something, you could put in...
Yeah, like this redeems for a pack on Magic.
Well, I don't know about necessarily a whole pack, but you could, every time, but it could definitely be a...
That's what Pokemon has, is that every time you get a pack.
Yeah, again though, it's... People already play Magic Online. The difference is that they're trying to get people to go play on their shitty interface systems, and people are doing it anyway. Where Pokemon Online, they have an amazing system that does a really good job of leaning itself towards playing online. And I don't think you get a whole pack. I think you get like a partial pack. But yeah, if you redeem a product, you get a code in there that does that and blah blah blah. I mean, I played Pokemon Online for quite a while because of that. But now I don't play Pokemon, nor do I play Pokemon Online because they've...
Like, Magic is really trying to push Arena, right?
Yeah.
And this is a way that they could push Arena. Is like, hey, you get this pack, and they've been doing it with pre-releases, and it's working.
Yeah, I feel like the taste is a lot different. I don't think you need to have, or I don't think that you'll get Wizards to give that up too high. Now, if you were to like redeem this for 100 gold, I can see them doing something like that. Like here's 100 gold, here's a 500 gold. Like, I can see them maybe if they decide that they need to push arena a little harder.
Well, if they did, so if they did like 500 gold, right? That's gonna be half a pack. I could see.
Said I really feel like it'll be random. If they were to add something like that, it'll be random between 1 and 500.
Or like maybe this redeems for one of each wild card.
I mean, maybe. I feel like those kind of things are much less likely. Again, I feel like, because if you think about like the WoW TCG that they did, like a lot of those things were basically the equivalent of gold. Like the free on-game currency that you can just earn by playing anyway. And then every once in a while they had like a big item type thing. I know because my brother was like asking me, it's like, hey, you got any of these? Like in your old shop? I'm like, no, I don't think we ever bought into any of those things. Like, oh darn. Alright, let me actually hit the wiki really fast. What quest is this? The Wraith Callers? Excuse me. Let me see if what gear comes out of this quest. It might be worth turning around and going back in.
Hey, I see it run there.
See a what?
Checking for elements.
Oh. See, we have like
one
intelligence
of his
code.
things.
Oh man, this thing actually seems really good for the new Necromancer pass, right?
What is it?
It's a +8 cloak with the boon of undeath and well-rounded, and it's Siphon negative amp.
Yeah, that does seem pretty good. Maybe that's what I should do on my next life is Necromancer so I can play with that. Although I do need drive, so.
See, then we have a plate. And then we have a shield. Alright, so nothing really this life that we need to worry about. Okay. Seems
I'm having a lot of fun with the Inquisitive though, so I think I want to do something with that, right?
Yeah, I like the Inquisitive a lot. Alright, so now we go to, where's the next quest that we
If
actually
anybody's got a sweet Ranger build, Inquisitive, preferably something with those traps.
I'm gonna turn down Spotify just a little bit. I'm having a hard time hearing Talab here, so we'll turn down Spotify just a hair. That may or may not turn it down for you guys. If it becomes not loud enough, someone yell at me.
Yeah, sorry, I don't really have didn't have my mic like right in front of my mouth.
Yeah. I want to be sure to hear you here. Alright, so we could run to the car. I thought there was one over here that we run to. But I guess it doesn't matter. I guess this one's all the same. Basically.
I'll just run after you.
Yeah, I live on a super busy road, like a main road. So people, like the cops shoot up and down the street all the time. It's a double wide with a turn lane, 40 miles an hour through downtown.
Well, you're gonna start living on a really, really busy street pretty soon.
Yeah?
But yeah, you're gonna be living on the freeway.
I'm not gonna live on the freeway. I know. The wife started looking into BMI. She's like, "Do you know what BMI land is?" I'm like, "What?"
BMI land, okay.
So BMI land stands for Basically, it's government land. And technically, you can camp for 2 weeks on any government land, basically.
Okay.
So, one of her big concerns is figuring out where to park.
Yeah.
Because she doesn't want to be, spending money camping in park grounds and everything all the time. And I'm like, honey, there's going to be plenty of places. Well, she started buying into a lot of this hype where, oh yeah, it must be a real problem. A lot of cities are trying to pass an ordinance where you're not allowed to sleep in your vehicle, and that includes RVs. So I guess Walmarts are kicking people out of their parking lots.
Yes, they are.
And it's technically because of the city ordinance they can, because Walmart's policy is that you're welcome to stay. But because of this ordinance, local managers can kick people out.
My brother is a truck driver, so I can confirm that that's true, because they used to let truck drivers stay there all the time, and that's not the case.
Yeah, so again, that all depends on the city ordinance.
Also depends on the manager. If the manager wants to be an ass, then he can't.
Right. Well, that's just it. Like, the manager can choose to enforce that city ordinance or not. Man, I forget where. Is this the one we have to go up to Crack? I don't think so, right?
Oh, no, I apologize for that. This is morning show.
Yeah. I mean, managers can do whatever. It's their universe, right? We just live in it.
Right. Yeah.
But, yeah, this is the up over here.
They can be a duty head.
Exactly. So, she's like freaking out. She's like, where are we gonna park? I'm like, honey, there's gonna be plenty of places. Even if that particular Walmart decides to be a pain, right? That if we decide to crash in a parking lot overnight, you know how many empty parking lots there are?
Yeah.
Like, how many malls don't have that as a problem? Like, there'll be plenty of places. And also, who wants to stay necessarily in the city overnight? Where if we can park, there's if you're on the interstate, there's rest stops. There are plenty of places to sleep, babe.
Yeah, it wouldn't be too long.
She's like freaking out. Again, specifically truck drivers complaining about Walmart stuff, but it's the city ordinances. And technically people who...
Well, I think that the ones that are like, hey, I'm making a delivery to this Walmart, like, they are even more justified in, like, complaining, like, they won't even let me stay here.
I mean, personally, I feel like Walmart's corporate policy is we're gonna, like, we want to allow people to have the option to do this. So the fact that the city shouldn't tell the company what they can or can't do.
Right.
I mean,
like,
technically cities get the right to do that, but
the whole thing with the cities is that they're trying to lower the homeless population, which I can understand that, but at the same time they're hurting, like legitimate, like truck drivers and people like you that are trying to, they're not homeless, they just live in their vehicle,
Right. And people who are like traveling for RVing, like these are, yes, some people are transit, some people are nomadic, but they're not, like you said, they're not homeless people per se.
Yeah.
And it is a different story. I know, like, Denver had a decriminalization of people sleeping in their cars bill just passed. I think it passed, if I remember right. I'd have to ask Cabral. He got a vote on it, so he was, like, all happy that he voted for it. And because Denver's got a huge homeless population. It's like massive right now.
Yeah.
It's basically, I don't know if you heard this story, but Wichita, they found what they basically called the homeless hotel. And basically what these people had done is they had found like a 3-acre lot someplace, and they had hollowed it out underground, and they had basically turned it into this massive cave system for homeless people. I think they said they caught like 25 or 35 people that were living in these dugout burrows. And I'm like, if these people were on the right land, no one would care.
Yeah.
But they're so close to the city that people are going to care. And people just think of this stuff as eyesores. Oh, it's an eyesore. Well, it is, but some people, most people who are homeless chose that life. They did not, it wasn't an accident.
Yep. Well, a lot of it too, and I don't know if it's around you as well, but like around me, or the homeless around me is, they don't know about a lot of the programs that are around for them because the government doesn't really push those programs. Like we know that there's shelters around, but we don't know where they are. You don't know.
Yeah, the homeless people know where those are, though. They know. Again, it's not that they don't. They just don't, because there's rules involved. Mm-hmm. I know a couple of the guys that work here at the men's center in Salina, and they'll come in for meals if they want, but they don't want to live in the rules.
Yeah.
So, like, one of the rules at the Salina men's shelter is you have to be clean. Like, wow, I don't want to be clean. Like, off of drugs. They're like, nope, don't want that. I'd rather be able to get high when I score enough money and be high than have a bed 7 days a week.
Sad. It's really sad.
It is, but that's the reality of the situation. And until people want to clean up their act, you can't do anything about it. And there's a difference between that level of homelessness and people like truck drivers who are, they're staying in your parking lot overnight in their $45,000 tractor, trying to not have to shell out an extra $100 for a hotel room that they're going to sleep in for 6 hours and then be on the road.
Right.
Anyway.
Well, a big problem with that too is that, like, okay, the Walmart there wants you to have the delivery there tomorrow, but then the government says, no, you can't drive more than 18 hours.
Yeah. Well, you know how I feel about the government imposing their will on the people. But there's also an amount of public safety when it comes to driving on a road.
Oh,
like,
I'm
driving
not
is
saying
not
that
a right.
I'm not saying they shouldn't by any means. Like, I think there should be, like, some type of standards imposed on truck drivers, but at the same time is, like, these companies like, no, you can't sleep in my parking lot with your truck. We're closed, but you still can't sleep in our parking lot. Like, that's just ridiculous.
Yeah, I agree. It's that, or you need to have a better bank of having it so people can sleep there. Because we are such a big delivery now company, or culture.
I mean, we've talked about, me and my brother-in-law have talked about before, like, the thing is that if the one industry that could just shut down America, that could just bring America to its knees, is truck drivers. If all the truck drivers decided one day pull over, turn their engines off, and not do anything, America just...
Yeah, pretty quick. Well, it's like, what is it? They say major cities, they have less than 3 days of food in the city.
Yeah.
Like, you couldn't feed everybody in that city for 3 days if there wasn't shipments of food getting brought in.
Yep. Like a truck driver union would just be
Wow.
a nightmare.
Thank goodness there isn't one.
Oh yeah, I know. I'm just saying, like, it would be a nightmare.
But, I mean, it would be something similar if the farmers just decided, okay, we're gonna take this year off.
Yeah.
And you wouldn't feel it right away, right? But you would feel it in 6 months.
Mm-hmm.
When they're like, oh yeah, no, I'm just not selling my cattle. I only,
Yeah.
you know, I didn't, like, oh, I was told that cattle were bad. So I didn't breed cattle. I didn't grow enough food to feed all this cattle. Like, I was under the impression the environment didn't want this stuff. And then watch all the people screaming.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm not pro that stuff, but people have some. They don't appreciate a lot of stuff. They don't appreciate where things come from. It's like those people who protest, like, oh, why do you got to go hunt an animal and kill it for food? Why don't you just go to the grocery store like everybody else?
Right.
Well, where do you think that animal comes from?
I think that a lot of people have a serious disconnect of just like, I'm gonna go to the store and buy a pack of hamburger, you know, and they don't realize what goes into that pack of hamburger.
No. Well, remember that they did that guy did a project, right, where he was gonna make his own. He was gonna do everything he needed to make his own hamburger. Right? He grew enough wheat to be able to make his own bread. He grew a cow, got a cow, raised it.
Yeah.
You know, did all that stuff. It turns out it was like a $20,000 hamburger or something.
Yep.
Hope I never meet someone who believes that thought. Which thought's that? That you can just always go to the store and get whatever you need. They're out there, man.
I used to work and live on a ranch. I know what goes into, you know, processing hamburger and stuff like that, and it's not easy.
Alright, so this is Thralls of the Fungus Lord, right? Yeah, let's, I feel like this was one of the ones that,
Yeah, unfortunately, there's a lot of people out there that just think that, you know, that your food just comes to the grocery store as food and it's not raised, and there's, you know, people don't work for it. There's a lot of people think.
Now, there's like a possibility that in the future, I clicked the wrong Thrall button here. There's a possibility as we get a closer idea of how to make meat substitutes that are like printed or whatever. Oh, here's the dusk lenses. I think this is literally the one that I actually already have. Okay. Alright, so this has the Enforcer's Coat, which I think actually turns out that I have an Enforcer's Coat. I do not, but I had a Turncoat. So, right, because we're looking for, yeah, part of the family. So I might run this quest again. Yeah, I think I will. I know that there's a political pundit, I will not go into who one of the things that he says is like he imagines there'll be a time where people will look back at the now and be like, oh wow, I can't believe they were raising meat for food. Right? Like, there will be a time where the morality of the situation will be like, oh man, I can't believe how barbaric. It's kind of like the idea of, like, we look at slavery now and we don't realize how many slaves are still out there in the world. And we think, oh, how barbaric, because we don't realize how many people are still actively being mistreated.
Yeah.
Oh, as a culture of the past. Well, not really. Or they'll conflate, I'm only getting paid $11 an hour. I'm a slave to the man. It's like, you're not a slave to the man. You can find a different job if you wanted to. If you tried, you could do it. Oh, no, I'm a slave to the man. Like, no, because there are literal slaves out there. You don't understand what it's like to have your freedoms removed.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of that mindset right now. And
Yeah,
the same thing with meat.
I don't think that'll ever happen, though. I really don't.
That people will look back at this time and be like, wow, I can't believe they...
Yeah, I don't think that'll happen.
I don't know, man. The technology is almost there. Like, processed meat substitutes that are... I mean, they're doing a really good job. Like, a lot of it's really, really close. I don't know how closely you pay attention to any of that stuff, but it's... Now, you're not talking like pork shoulders or anything like that. You're talking about, like hamburgers and stuff. Also, the same with wanting to raise the minimum wage without thinking that'll increase the cost of living. Exactly.
Yeah, that's the other thing that drives me up the wall. Is people like, we want $15 an hour. It's going to make our lives better. Well, no.
It will if nothing changes.
Yeah, but I understand how business works.
What? I have to spend more money to pay my employees, so I have to raise my prices? No. That's crazy talk.
I know.
What kind of crazy person would expect that?
Yeah.
I know, I have a friend, and I'm not going to get into too deep a story here, but this friend was getting mad at the place that they worked because they were promised a raise to like 12 something an hour, and they're still only getting paid like 11 something, right? So this person was like, yeah, so I go in half an hour late every day. Every day I go in half an hour late because they won't give me my raise. I'm like, why would I give somebody a raise that came in to work half an hour late every day?
Right.
They're like, well, they already promised it to me. I'm like, yeah, I'm sure they promised to you under the condition that you go into work every day on time. Like, that's part of the job in general. Like, I shouldn't have to specifically say, okay, well, I'll give you this raise, but you have to come into work on time. This person goes, no. See, I used to work. I used to go in every day on time. I went to work every day on time for 2 weeks, and they didn't give me my raise. I'm like, so you did your job every day for 2 weeks?
2
And
weeks,
you were...
what a saint.
Right? I don't know.
I've got a friend here that's complaining because he works a minimum wage job, and he complains. He goes, you can't live in California on minimum wage. And that's true. You can't. You just can't. That's
not the purpose of a minimum wage job.
Yeah, he's like, you can't live in California on a minimum wage job. He's like, if they raised it to $15 an hour, I could live here. I could live at $15 an hour. And I'm like, yeah, until everybody decides, well, now that the minimum wage is $15 an hour, that hamburger needs to go to, $13,
All that's going to do is it's going to take and change. It's going to force more jobs to be done by automation. Like, is it McDonald's? I think McDonald's. One of the places, like,
burger robots.
Yeah, they forced McDonald's in one of these places to go to $15 an hour, and so that's where they put their experimental
experimental burger flippers. Yep.
Yeah, so it's got like 3 employees that they basically manage like 5 robots. The robots do all the work. Wow, you guys. some sort of special. And I get it. I want people to have. Who was it that was saying that to me the other day? Like, nobody, I think they were talking about it in healthcare, the idea of healthcare. It's like, nobody wants you to be sick or not taken care of. We all want you to be sick and taken care of. We don't want people to be suffering. But at the same time, you can't enslave another person because you don't want to do a better job and get your health care. Take paid for. Or my niece, she's constantly complaining about not having enough money. It's like, but you got pregnant at 21, you quit school 3 times. Like, why you're not, you can only work a fast food burger job. That's the only thing you're qualified for. That doesn't mean that's the only thing you can do. You can write. You can. I'm sure there's other things that you could do for income if you felt like it. But instead, you go to the government with your hand out and you're like, I'm a strong, independent woman, Uncle Sam. And then she complains about her job. It's like, come on. My wife is literally stressing out. She's like, how are we going to live on the road? I'm like, babe, it's going to work out. Like, between the streaming and we're going to increase our video production and maybe we get someplace for 2 weeks and it turns out we don't have enough money. You know what we do? We'll just get a part-time job. Oh, man, I guess I got to go fight all those guys in that one place. It's like, babe, we'll figure it out. Like, if we have to stop someplace for a month and get some crappy job for a month, we can do that. Like, it's not that big of a deal. Do I need to go down there? Can I just go this way? I don't actually know this quest that well, so I'm kind of faking it. I think I have to be in here, right? I don't know. Which is why you should all like and subscribe.
Sure.
There's my shameless plug for the stream.
And there's mine.
Oh, sweet. Thanks, buddy. Yeah. Patreon's a great way to support the stream. We've not added any new patrons lately. Just kind of sad and disappointing, but if you guys get an opportunity for $1 a month, you can make a big difference. And I'm gonna go ahead and do this one more time. One more time.
Yep, and after you're done giving him your money, you can give him my money. You can give me.
Give him your money.
Yeah, give me my money. Yeah.
No, it sounded like
Still have money burning a hole in your pocket.
Right. Exactly. I get enough subscribers, I could totally subscribe to Lab.
True.
Yeah, I mean, it's just a matter of putting all these things in place. I've been working partially on a book for the last while. I'm really good at knocking out children's books. Like, I've written 3 or 4 children's books. And the people, again, my artists. My weakness is artists. And I'd like to just self-publish them on Amazon. But I need artists to help me get the artwork done.
Peace. If you're an artist and you want to help Sam out.
I mean, it would not be for free. It would definitely be part of the book sales.
Slide into that DM.
I don't know, I'm not sure what this is, but so my brother is engaged, right? And the girl he's engaged to has a daughter who is a pretty good artist. So is that like a future niece?
Yes.
Okay, so my future niece apparently is a good artist and volunteered to work on part of the project. So I sent her through her mother a page description of what I was looking for. Right? Still nothing. This is a person who wants to be a professional artist for a living. But again, I think it's another person who wants to get paid in advance for work, and it's like, well, I don't have any money to give you in advance. If I had some money in advance, I'd give you.
It also might be one of those, like, you're my future uncle, so I can do this at, you know, a time of my choosing, kind of.
Which would totally be fine, but it would be really great if we could, like, if we could get the first page done and see if we, like, agree. I don't know.
I've noticed, like, a lot of people, when they do things for family, they don't really see it as employment, more as, hey, I'm doing you a favor, even though you are getting paid.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, it's a shitty way, a stupid way of looking at things, but, you know, it is what it is, you know?
Yeah. I guess I come from a, I don't know, a much different place. Like, my sister, she runs one of those,
Oh, I'm not, by
like,
no means
side
am I saying
businesses.
it's right.
Yeah, well, I agree with you. I just, again, I don't know, all my family seems to have always worked together to do stuff. Now, like I said, my father works for my sister part-time. My mother has always had multiple businesses that my brothers have worked for, or I don't know, like, the history of that in my family is not a thing. So to me, it's a really foreign idea that's part of the could be part of the reason why people are dragging their feet. But the thing is, I have other artists that I put sheets out to get things done, and nobody gets any artwork done. There are people I've paid.
Using the wrong art.
Yeah, well, I don't know. I sit there with my wife, and I'm like, man, these starving artists, people, there's a reason they're starving. They don't get anything done.
Speaking of family, I had something kind of cool happen yesterday.
Yeah?
Yeah, so, you know, I told you I was going to do that Vegas trip, and then plans changed. Like, my brother-in-law said he couldn't make it. My wife was like, you know, I was really just more interested in going to see my brother, you know.
Yeah, so now you guys are going to Arena, right?
Yeah, so we're going to Arena. So we canceled, which included canceling the Iron Maiden concert. So I was super bummed. I'm like, man, I really want to go see Iron Maiden, you know? And anyway, so my dad messaged me yesterday, texted me yesterday. He goes, hey, what are you doing on the 9th? And I'm like, nothing, I don't think. He's like, when you leave for vacation? So I told him I leave for vacation, you know? And he goes, okay, well, I got you tickets to go see Iron Maiden. And I hadn't even told him that I had canceled the Iron Maiden concert, you know? So I was just like, freaking sweet.
Alright, time for the obligatory making fun of you because you're blind. Are you really going to go see Iron Maiden or listen to Iron Maiden?
I would like to say something, but it's the morning show, so I'll work.
You know, if I didn't tease you for these, like, little things, you know I wouldn't care. That's how you know you're friends. Only real friends can tease each other about stuff like that. Oh, it's loud.
I always tell people that if I'm not messing with you, that's when you should worry, because I can't even give you the time of day at that.
Exactly. I'm just teasing. That it's such an easy shot for things like that.
Yeah, you gotta take your shots where you can.
Yeah, exactly. I'm so fat I can't barely hit anything anyway, right? So
Right.
we gotta take them where I can get them. Oh man.
The banter here is strong, guys.
No, the banter's not that strong today. Oh man, I'm like, I don't know. I tell you, that good laughing spree got me feeling a little better though. The ability to get some nice laughs in definitely
I'm glad
helps
that my
with the
physical impairments can make you feel better.
I mean, not for a long time. Like, You know, that's a small, brief thing of endorphins released when I genuinely laugh like that. You know, it's not like you've released all the cranial pressure out of my skull or whatever. It's the appropriate amount of laugh. Ah, the third pair of these bloody lenses. How come I can't get this armor? Alright, well, I'm over this quest now.
I mean, maybe you should try to pull better. Have you tried that?
Man, I'm gonna have to pull my head right out of my bum and try that. That's the... So you're telling me on the laundry list of things I need to get good at. Not only do I need to get good in general, I also got to figure out how to pull. Alright, I'll make a note of this. I'll make a note of this. Alright, well, hello.
Yeah, I mean, what would you do if I wasn't around to give you that kind of advice?
I don't know. Probably never get good nor figure out how to pull things.
See? Helping you every day, buddy.
I know, right? Alright, let's see if we can figure out the way to get... This is like a long run to this quest, but I feel like it's the easiest way to get there. There's a quest on the way. Yeah, we should probably just do that. Alright, so let's go to this quest over here. Trying to get the ring from invitation to dinner for a few days. There's a ring and invitation to dinner.
I would suggest to you that you roll the loot dice a little better.
Man, he's on the get good scrub plan hard today.
I've been off of it for a couple of days. I got to make up for lost time.
That's fair. Yeah, I don't know, I ran the quest to get the gloves for this set like 4 times over the weekend or something. And never got them. I was a little disappointed.
Ooh, it's a ring for a monk. I'm intrigued now. Said the magic word.
Yeah, ring.
Everyone knows that monk is the best class in DD.
Everyone?
Everyone. Even you know it, whether you want to admit it or not, is a different.
Man, this definition of everyone and best is... I don't think these words mean what you think they mean. I know, so I was excuse me. I was debating on writing a module to sell on old Amazon. Every once in a while I think about doing basically what I think of as an unofficial DDO module. You know, like it's set in a place, it's really similar, with characters that are super similar, but
get in there with the and see if you can start writing for the.
Yeah, the problem is that they're gonna want other stuff. They'll if you even get hired in to do content design, they want you to be like an expert at their proprietary software already in advance. Just part of the reason why they end up hiring from the teams who end up doing things like they end up hiring a lot of design people from inside the company because they're already experienced in the proprietary software. I shouldn't say proprietary because some other people use it, but not very many people. But it's basically proprietary for the dungeon design. But if I write modules, you know, like a small 4-hour adventure thing, I feel like I can accomplish that task easy enough. Yeah, I was like imagining the setup the other day for one of these modules that I was thinking about writing, and it actually had a monk in it, which made me think of it. So now, if I do write this module, it may have to be a top hat wearing silly monk.
Definitely gotta have a top hat on.
Yeah. A blind fighting monk wearing a top hat.
Advance.
And he'll say stupid stuff like, stay a while.
Stay a while. Well met.
Yeah, it'll say things like, well, I would do it myself, but I can't find the door. And I had a seeing eye dog once, but it turns out I traded out my ranger level, and now I can't see anything. Stay a while and listen. I used to be a ranger, but then my dog died, and now I'm a monk. Aww, that's so sad. Oh no, I think I'm gonna have to put this cat down soon too. There's nothing wrong with it, except it's got mental problems. I don't know how to convince my wife that it's time. It's definitely close.
Hunting with you.
Yeah.
As far as happening.
I don't want to say good cat. It's a reasonable cat in the sense that I don't see it around the rest of the house or anything, but it basically lives in, under, and around our bed. And just, I'm allergic to cats. And of all the places for said cat to hang out all the time, in my bed when I'm trying to sleep is not the healthiest place for said cat to try to live.
Yeah, I'm allergic to cats too. By allergic, I mean I hate cats.
Yeah, I'm just straight up allergic. I'm not like, I don't get crazy like Witty does. Like Witty's super allergic to cat or animal hair, right? Like Witty would come over and just basically chug the don't get allergic things. I can't even think what that stuff's called, but the anti-allergy medicines. It basically just take it non-stop like they were candy. So it's not that bad. Like I can still exist, but it makes it hard to breathe and sleep and stuff, and I don't know. The cat's like 80. He's never gonna die. It's practically immortal. Alright, scavenger hunt. Does scavenger hunt have anything crazy?
So I've been seeing a lot of these LFMs where you like mouse over the name of the quest to see what difficulty they're doing, and it doesn't say difficulty. I'm not sure what that is.
Like what?
Like there's an LFM up right now for Spinner Shadows, right? And I mouse over the Spinner Shadows to see what difficulty they're doing, and it just says difficulty blank.
Well, I suppose they just didn't set one?
Well, I mean, it's like it's one of those things that they like the LFM through through the public system, I think.
Yeah, maybe like they.
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. Alright, so let's look at this. We have the Dumpster Fire Rune Arm, which is kind of so-so. Garbage Can Lid, which I do have one, and the Wildwood Vest, which has Wall Watch, which gives sneak attacks die, fortification bypass, double shot, and range power. So it is okay for like a ranged build. All right, we'll hit this. We'll come back through one more time. One more time. People are gonna be like, Sam, why don't you just run the saga twice and get your saga reward 2 times? Like, you're right. I should do it like that. That would be better. But I'm not gonna. We're not raged. We're not this. Get those muscles into it, Sam. I feel like Sharn has a much worse drop rate than Ravenloft. Have you noticed that?
Yes.
I feel like there's a reasonable chance you'll see a named loot in Ravenloft, but I feel like you're significantly lowered. Now, does that mean that the Ravenloft loot is too high? I don't think so. I feel like it means that this one is too low. I also feel like I needed to upgrade my Ring of the Stalker also, and I don't think I've done that.
So I just went to join that group, and I forgot that I didn't do servants this life, so I can't do.
But you did everything else, right?
I did everything but servants, so I can't get into spinner.
Oh. It happens. Yeah. I mean, they do appear in the drop rate for the chest, but I usually don't think of those really as name loot, really. I think of it's more of a... I mean, they are technically named loot, but I guess I just don't think of them like that.
The ingredients or what?
Oh, Twitchy Poo reminds me that also in the Ravenloft you can get the Barovian and the Macabre weapons in the chests. So maybe the reason why it feels so much better that for the Ravenloft drop rate is because there's just straight up more loot to get, like, so your chances are greater because there's always a % chance that it'll drop, but I don't know, I feel like those are pretty slim. I don't know. Alright. And nothing. I don't know. I think there's plenty of junk loot. I feel like there's plenty of loot in Shard as well that you should get some. I don't know, like every couple of quests there should be a reasonable shot. Which I suppose if that's the idea, then I probably have accomplished. I mean, granted, a bunch of them was the same junk over and over again, but I did get 2 of those goggles so far today. Afterburner past these things, those are bad. They're bad, they feel bad, they should feel bad, alright. Security detail. Oh, this is the one with the big gun at the end, right? Make sure I spell this correctly. Just pulling up the wiki page, just again mostly to see what loot comes out of here. Oh sweet, it looks like the wild card comes out of here. The belt comes out of here. This belt's actually pretty sweet. Carnage Reaper inside the door. That's fun. Fear Reaper inside the door. Man, they're just like laying it on thick this morning with the Reapers here, huh? Oh, this guy's gonna take all a minute.
I'll be back in a minute.
So we can't go to town on these guys here. Nice. Nice. Four shooting balls of hate get killed first. Actually, a bunch of these balls. We need to clear them out first. They're like glow balls, except equally evil. They're robots. Evil robots. Those are the robots that are like kill all humans. I feel like this is not the way. Kind of like looting and polluting. Excuse me.
I'm back.
Welcome back.
So did you see Neil deGrasse Tyson's Facebook?
I did. And I feel like global warming may have hit because it's the first time I like agreed with Tyson about something. I don't think that was his plan.
I think it was just. I get where he's coming from. I think it was just poorly worded.
I don't know. Again,
I think timing was bad.
I feel like for the first time in history, I agree with what's his name.
I mean, I'm not saying I don't agree with him. I'm saying that I think it was poorly timed, poorly worded.
I think the point he was probably trying to make was more like, hey, if you're upset about these things, keep in mind you should also probably be upset about this.
Right.
Not that you should not, be upset about one or the other or whatever.
I agree with
But
you.
in my mind, it's like I appreciate the fact that like people are mad because the media has told them to be mad. And I think that's the point that happened to come out in that tweet or Facebook post or whatever in particular, and people don't realize what again the other meaning of that particular post. Again, the idea of like, hey, look, you're only really mad at this because you've been told to be mad. Because if you were mad about innocent people being hurt or injured or whatever, you'd be upset about this stuff also. People are like, don't tell me who I'm supposed to be mad about. It's like, but you are just mad because you're told to be mad. Also, you're super far away. Witty says, I'll tell you what. What are you going to tell me? That you need cuddles? I'm all about it.
That I was super far away?
Yeah, you were very quiet. I'm curious what Witty's going to tell me what. All of them? I mean, I am not one to say that we can't have more background checks or anything like that. That's totally fine with me. Do I have pictures of the bus? Not a lot. I have a couple. Let me finish this quest and then I'll see what I have on the bus. I need to take some pictures. I've been waiting for it to get clean.
You should take the webcam out there and give us the tour.
I will at some point. I'll take the camera out there and I'll do like a live stream. But I want to finish getting things kind of cleaned up before I head out there for that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
It was parked for 2 years in the dirt and the dust and the crud. So it's going to take us a while to finish getting it cleaned up to the point where it's not a big dirty mess. Like I said, I literally spent all day I don't want to say all day. I literally spent 2 hours yesterday scrubbing the ceiling.
Have you picked out the Patreon drawer yet?
Oh, I picked out the Patreon drawer yet? No. But I mentioned that I think that this will probably be what happens is the inside of the drawers. If you're a patron, I will have a tier of patron in there that will be Sharpied in the bus in various places, like the supporters' names. So we'll have things like, like inside of a drawer, we'll have your name written inside of the bus. I'm not sure which tier that's going to be yet. Part of me wants to make that like part of the $3 tier. Part of me wants to help make that like the slightly higher, like a higher tier, so people who they join for 1 month to make that happen. But I don't know. We'll see what happens. But we haven't even got to drawers yet.
If you're interested, there's the link.
Yep, there's the Patreon link. So right now the bus is basically seatless, except for the driver's seat. And we have purchased, like I said, I mentioned an air conditioner. Got bought yesterday, and I'm going to plug it in today. And if it doesn't start working, I'm going to take it back to the store today.
Throw it out the salesman.
Well, I mean, we just got it at Walmart. Like it's not a big deal.
Oh, don't do that to them. They already deal with enough.
Yeah, it's not a big deal. Have I drawn up a floor plan? So we're working on it. I actually had bought some software to start mapping things out, and the software company is they're not letting me log in. I sent them an email and they're like, oh yeah, I don't know what's wrong, like it should totally work, everything's fine. And then I still can't get in, so I'm about to demand my money back. So what we're kind of doing right now is I'm making cardboard templates of everything, and I am just physically putting the cardboard templates in place, and we're kind of juggling it around. So like right now we have not a ton of stuff, but we have a few things. Again, so my list of getting things done is I gotta get the glass. There's some broken glass that's gonna have to be first, and then I've ordered like some parts and stuff that should be here today, which I'll be making videos on and stuff like that as soon as I know how it all works, which I think will be really fun videos to watch, at least for people who are interested in bus stuff. For everybody else, it'll be boring as heck, but for people who are into buses, it should be interesting. Alright, let me finish out of this quest, and we'll see what I happen to have for pictures here real fast. So I think all of my pictures are pre taking out the seats. I don't think I've taken anything. I don't think I've taken any pictures since we've gotten the seats out. Alright, so this is where we are. So as you can see, there are like 3 pieces of plywood up in this window. Those are going to get come out and be replaced with sheet metal. And then these 4, I guess, and I think these 4 are also going to get replaced with sheet metal. But all these seats are out. Here's a picture of the front. All these seats are out. See how it looks like this. And as you can tell, there's like dirt and stuff on this back wall and stuff. It's pretty easy to tell, like over here. But there's stuff on the ceilings, so now it's all shiny. Here's the dirty seat. Tanya has cleaned all this out really nicely. So yeah, I'll go take new pictures. There's the door mechanism. The control panel. I want to put all sorts of bells and whistles on this control panel. It's going to be insane. So one of the things I want to do is I want to take this cigarette lighter spot and upgrade it into like double USB ports. And this will run off of the bus. And then I want to put a second battery or a second USB thing somewhere that runs off of the house batteries as I start to get them. There's the mileage, 1,580.
Druidic mega laser.
Yeah, I'll probably label some like bullshit ones too. But they have two safety things on either side towards the middle. But see, like there's a picture of some of the glass that's messed up. Not every single one is a problem, but enough of them are a problem that I'm gonna have to get someone to come out and just bring me like a bunch of different stuff. And then here's one of the pictures of the underside. It's not really too bad on the rust. There's a few little like small things.
How goes it trying to convince your wife to let you wood panel?
We're not wood paneling. We are not wood
Look
paneling.
like an airship.
Oh yeah, I would like to do that. I'd like to have an artist paint the outside to look like that. But the wife's argument, I think, is very valid in the... our budget can be better spent elsewhere. Like, yeah, that's fair. Alright, speaking of yeah, that's fair. One, I think we're about ready to be forced to take a level. And two... we must have left our hireling inside the quest too long, because now it's timed out as well. We're not that far away from this one. But yeah, I think we're just gonna pop back and get our level. I'm crazy but proud of you, me, for making my dream happen. I mean, that's the idea. There's a lot of stuff we're still trying to figure out. But I just want to be... I want to be able to travel, but I want to be home.
I imagine that's the same thing that Sam's wife said to him, so... I'm proud of you. It's crazy.
Yeah, something like that. I don't know, the wife is usually... She says things like... I see all the benefits and I'm really looking forward to it, but it's scary. And I'm one of those people who's like, once we've kind of weighed the benefits and stuff on it, I'm like, yeah, I'm not scared. Like it.
I mean, change is scary, you know.
Yeah.
So I can get behind her on that.
So I'm just like, if something comes up that we're not ready for, we'll handle it. Like every other thing in our entire lives that we've had to deal with.
Right.
Like, oh, well, what if this happens? Well, one, you've already started thinking about it, therefore worrying about it. So I'm not that worried about it. And then two, dang it, why does this do this? Oh yeah, this seems great. Frenzied toughness. Oh yeah, that seems really good. I got this one, which I think is the only one who cared about. More muscle, more damage. More damage.
Power.
More damage. All the damages. But yeah, I think it'll work out really nice. Let me see if this van space software is working today. If it is, we might fiddle with the van space software for a little while. This is what I bought specifically to do invalid username or login.
Ooh, that's pretty cool.
Let's try with
they
the
just
capital
released a
R.
dinosaur for the commander stuff. It's called Apex Allosaur. It's green, green, and 7 for a 10/10. When it enters the battlefield, it fights up to one target creature you don't control. And then it has Enrage. Whenever it is dealt damage, it fights up to one target creature you don't control. It's basically a board wipe for green, is what I'm saying.
Well, until it dies, right?
Yeah, but it's a 10/10.
Yeah. It's like it fights until it dies.
Yeah.
Alright, let's put in the temporary password. Also doesn't work. Yeah. Unfortunately, this thing just is not... This van space software just does not work worth a crap. I'm just gonna have to demand a refund, I think.
Give me my money back.
Yeah, it was like $25 too.
Oh, they're reprinting Death Mist Raptor. That's actually relevant, isn't it? Kind of expensive.
Is it?
It was for a while. I don't know if it's still.
I don't think
I thought it was.
It was when it was in standard, but I don't think it's been relevant for a long time. Like, it doesn't get played in modern.
Oh, okay.
I played one in Frontier in my green tutor deck.
Okay.
Mike Palmer enjoyed today's going live tweet. Well, I appreciate you too, Mike. You're so pretty. Alright. What was I looking at? There we go. Over here. But yeah, as we said, I'll definitely be doing some go live stuff pretty soon on the bus. I might even do some today. Depends on how hot it is. I should take my thermometer out there because that thing's got to go in the bus somewhere too. A lot of the issues are figuring out where to put things. So like this ugly cabinet that Remington made, which is adorable, has to go in there somewhere because Remy made it. And it's like awkward and like shaped weird. And like I have no idea where it's gonna go. But I have it sitting right here. Like my Iron Man collection will probably have to get trimmed or put someplace. Or both. I'm just like, I don't know where to put these things. So yeah, a lot of stuff is just gonna have to get figured out as we're building it. But I'm not in a hurry. Like I said, first things first, we gotta get it watertight and oh, I didn't buy a new Hireling. Dang it. So bad at things. Get the windows replaced. Like I said, then get it secured. I think I have a good way to lock the front door now and have remotes. They should arrive today if they haven't already arrived. And as I figure that out, I will put a video out on it. Because I've seen some really terrible ways people have done it. And I think I figured out a better way. A complicated way. The problem is I currently don't have a physical backup. It's all electronic. So I'll have to look and see if I can figure out a way to make it have another backup. Thinking about putting some, like, the concern is for one of the for the process that I'm planning on using will be if like I lose a remote control, what will I, or a toggle, how do I fix it, or all these things, and I'm like, yeah, maybe I can fix that solution by putting some wires or some clips down underneath the bus that I can really inconveniently reach because I know where they are, but a random person would never in a million years be able to reach, and then I can just hook up a small battery to it or something. And then I come up with all these super elaborate solutions that are way not necessary. But my wife has got me extra paranoid. But another thing I want to do is, as we actually start getting some work done that's not cleaning, like some actual building of things, I'm going to get a webcam out there, and we'll do some just chatting while I'm actually working on the bus. So there'll be video coverage of me out there working on the bus. Which, with the Twitch's new policy on not showing a nipple on accident, or not killing you for showing a nipple, I feel like I'm in the safety zone now. So if I show a little too much plumber's crack while I'm working on something, I feel like I won't get kicked off of Twitch.
I feel like you'd get more subscribers.
I mean, only if I do it on purpose, right? And I would never do that on purpose. So.
Oops.
Yeah, I feel like having an oops like that is just a way to get myself in trouble. Oh darn! I ripped the front of my pants. Look at, oh my goodness, my Johnson just flopping around. Yeah, I'm seriously looking forward to getting things going. I'm hoping to have maybe not 100% ready to go, but to the point where we can do like a camping trip sort of thing where we can go visit some people. Mostly so I have some people helping with the bus. Is that wrong? It's not wrong, right?
No.
Like, hey, we're here to visit. Also, want to help with the bus?
I'll see what I can do.
See what you can do. That's a long drive to see what I can do.
Well, you know me, I can see a lot, so.
Oh, you can you?
Yeah.
All the colors of the rainbow.
Right.
Oh man, I wasn't gonna make another eye joke there. I feel obligated to now almost, but I'm not gonna. I feel like I hit my quota. I feel like you're safe for the rest of the day.
Well, I'm telling you, if you come down here, I won't help you work on the bus, but I will barbecue.
Oh man. Whew. It's like an interesting possible trade-off there. Yeah, literally, we were talking about places that I'm like, yeah, I'd really like to get to Colorado pretty soon and, you know, stay there and blah 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 and see what it's like. She's like, yeah, that wouldn't be that bad. And then she literally goes, but we're never going to California. I'm like, I don't know about never, babe. Like, I think we'll probably go visit for a little while. She's like, no, I don't think we'll ever go to California. And then she like goes in this mini rant about how she hears the weather's nice all the time. And like, maybe that would be okay. I'm like, babe.
Except it's hot as balls during the summer.
Yeah. I'm like, I don't know, sweetheart. I think that we should probably go visit. I'd like to hit every state at least once, you know?
I mean, you gotta come visit Collab and V-Love, so...
Yeah, exactly. I mean, V-Lab wants to put me up in his freaking guest house mansion. I feel like that's probably worth a visit.
Yeah, I don't have the monetary stuff to put you in my mansion. You know, that's currently living in by me. You know. Oh wait, I don't have a mansion.
I just need a place to park the bus. Like I don't need a bunch. I just need I need people not to be in trouble for me parking in their front yard. That's...
Yeah, I have that. Actually, you don't even have to park in my front yard. I have a RV.
Oh, see, perfect. But Velo's like, oh yeah, you come stay in my guest house. You have to take the golf cart to drive from the main house to there, but it should be okay.
Small. Yeah, you can stay in the small house, the small mansion, McMansion.
Yeah, exactly. I don't think it's quite that bad, but
it's only 2 million square feet. That's all.
yeah, in California,
Yeah.
not that big a deal.
Basically living in poverty.
Yeah, probably. Like walk back in there and I'm like, oh man, you know the
Bus broke down.
like I could park the bus inside this living room probably.
You're like, Vila, the bus broke down. I can't fix it.
Yeah, I don't know about that. That's an awful lot of living in California.
It is an awful lot of living in California.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm looking forward to seeing some of these places. Like my brother moved to Seattle, and I'm just like,
Yeah, if it wasn't for the wife, I'd be out of here too. Although she's the one who wants to stay here.
no, she's gotta listen to them. They're part of the boss.
hmm I weighed my options of like leave California and not be married, or stay in California and be married.
Yeah, I mean, it seems like a reasonable trade-off to me.
It is.
My concern is that my wife will find a place she just falls in love with. Like, this is where we're staying. I'm like, but no, like, nope, this is it. This is where we're staying. That is my fear.
Yeah, like, I don't want to stay here. And she's like, let me rephrase that. This is where I'm staying.
Yeah, exactly. Like, no, I found the place where I'm happy. I'm like, yeah.
I'm happy, and you being here is not a factor.
Exactly. Yeah, that's like kind of what I'm expecting at some point. She's got her heart. She keeps talking about wanting to go to Texas. I'm like, honey, you realize it's like 1,000 degrees there, right?
Ugh, Texas. One of my buddies messaged me yesterday. Was like, hey, why don't you come visit me in Texas? And I was like, well, because I'd have to go to Texas.
I don't know, man. Like, there's probably a lot of good stuff about Texas, but the fact that you could probably
like 3 bad things.
You like walk outside and your balls immediately burst into flames sounds like an unpleasant situation. Oh man, are we that close to the end of the stream too? Man, crazy.
Yeah, you're right. You should go longer today.
No, I got so much to do. I gotta try calling the glass people. They never called me back last week, so I'm hoping it was just an oversight, not a we don't want to do your job, or we don't know how to help you. But I'm gonna call.
McDonald's new paper straws aren't recyclable, but the Axe plastic ones were.
Man, I understand, and I hate to like blame other countries for things because we obviously did a lot of stuff when we were coming up too. But like, I hate to say it, but even if America like shifted hardcore every single thing, and we've already turned things around quite a bit, like our personal policies, we're not going to make a dent.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's not. I'm not going to say that there's not a large portion of trash in the ocean that's from the United States, but we haven't dumped trash in a long time.
Yeah.
Right? There's countries out there who are still dumping their trash every day.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and I'm not saying that that's correct to do so, because by no means do I want to leave a dirty planet. But
We gotta think about the planet that we're gonna leave behind for Betty White.
something like that. You know, I'm one of those guys who's like, I want a cleaner planet, but at the same time, I also need to be realistic about what's going on. Hey, we got the bronze dragon plate. I don't know if we have. I think we have this one actually. I feel like we get stuff we already have. It's alright though. You know, it's like people talk about fossil fuels all the time, and I'm like, sweet, I'm down. Like, I don't want. Like, let's clean things up. How are you gonna get the power around? Oh well, we'll figure it out. Okay. Well, let's. I mean, that's important. It's an important part of things. So how are you going to stop China and India from just completely destroying everything? Are you going to nuke them? Are you ready to nuke China? No? Okay. Well, then I don't know how you're going to talk a developing country into not developing. And you're like, all right, well, and we continue to want power, so you ready to build nuclear power plants? No, but we just talked about how you can't get the power from here to there, so you have to build power plants there. So you need more nuke plants. But okay, but we can't have nuke plants. So, like, give me some practical solutions. I'm down. I am 100% down with cleaning things up. Just it has to be practical. And when you say stuff like that, you become an eco-terrorist. And you suddenly hate the environment. No, I love the environment. I want a clean planet. Let's do it. Let's make it clean. And then you start talking about all the things that I personally do, like raise some of my own food or grow some of my own food, and all of a sudden people look at you like you have a third eye. Because food comes from a grocery store! To bring it back full circle.
Dare you keep those noisy chickens in my neighborhood?
Right? I don't even have any chickens anymore. Just duckers. Although I might actually talk to my mother-in-law. And she bought some chickens a couple years ago. And the day that they arrived, she ended up at the hospital with a stroke. So she's been taking care of them, even though she was, dealing with that.
Yeah.
And they're starting to become too much for her to handle on a daily basis. So I might take some amount of her chickens off of her hands for her. But to do that, I got to get the backyard in better shape. It's currently
I can't even own
disaster.
chickens.
Yeah?
It is legal in my city to own chickens inside city limits.
That is so weird.
Mm-hmm. California for you.
That's just straight up in your city ordinance. No livestock, or no fowl, or no livestock. Do you know?
Livestock.
Chickens are usually not considered livestock, though.
Yeah, but it specifies chickens in our ordinance.
Okay, so that means you can have ducks then.
It does not specify ducks.
Runner ducks are actually really great. I love ours. They do require some water, but they require way less water than other ducks. So we just use like a little kiddie pool. And I cannot for the life remember how to get to this last quest.
I'm sure my kids would love if we got ducks.
I feel like maybe it's over this direction. Ah, there it is. Okay. And I said the little runner ducks they're really good. And in California, what is your fox coyote population like? It's not bad, right?
No.
So you should be in reasonable shape to.
Yeah, I live so far away from anywhere that a fox or a coyote would want to be that.
Again, you'd be surprised.
No. I've seen my share of coyotes and foxes when I lived in Oklahoma, and I have yet to see one.
Yeah.
I've been like I've heard them out in the country, like when I go out to out to the orchards and stuff. I'll hear them, but I've still not seen one in.
Well, then you might be in good shape then if for ducks then. I said we didn't even have to worry about ours getting locked up at night forever. And then all of a sudden a fox discovered where our backyard was, and then all of a sudden it became a problem.
Okay.
But yeah, ours are just open in our backyard. I mean, we have a fenced in backyard because of the dogs. But we, for a long time, we just had everything in the backyard. We had a little kiddie pool, and we had 4 lady ducks and a male duck, and they looked pretty good. And then, like I said, all of a sudden one of the ladies disappeared and the male duck had a weird crink in his neck, and then after that we had to start locking them up at night and stuff. And then we even got an attack in the middle of the day.
One in the middle of the day, that's kind of rare.
Yeah, well, so I feel like specifically it had rained for 4 days here or something. So I think that it was basically I'm starving, I would like to find some food, and I know that these ducks are here. I feel like I am somehow out of place. I think I took the wrong path. We'll see as we get closer here, I guess. But yeah, so we had the one in the middle of the day, and that one we were fortunate enough that the wife happened to catch the wolf attack, and she screamed. The wolf got scared, dropped the duck on the other side of the fence. The duck was completely unharmed, and she was able to just go pick the ducks up and put them back in their cage. But had she not noticed what was going on, it's probable that we would have lost the duck, if not 2 ducks that day.
Yeah.
Oh no, I lost fragments. Alright, maybe I didn't lose fragments, because I jumped down this hole instead of that hole. Excellent. Whee! And I'm free falling. Oh man, I hope there's food. I guess worst case scenario, there's some ramen.
Ramen's good.
Yeah, I don't think I have anything to jazz it up though today.
Super carby though.
Yeah, but I don't know. But again, if you can, in there? Yeah, there's eggs. I could put an egg in.
Put egg in, put some hot sauce in there.
Yeah, I don't know. I might have some mushrooms or something. I can jazz it up.
Hot sauce in there too.
Yeah, I'm not supposed to have hot sauce anymore.
Oh, you poor man.
Yeah, I'm not supposed to. I'm supposed to have sour, not spicy.
Oh, you poor man.
And then last night, Remington made me it. He went out. He's like, I'm going to Chipotle, not Chipotle. I don't know, one of the burrito places. It's like, because we put him in charge of dinner because they were playing pen and paper, right?
Yeah.
And I said, okay, whatever. He's like, I'm going. Do you want anything special on your thing? I'm like, oh, I don't know. Like, make sure there's some meat. Make sure it's like rice and beans. Give me a bowl because I don't want a burrito. I don't want to be making a mess. Yeah. And otherwise, just use your best judgment or whatever. So I'm like, all right. So I'm sitting in my office. The only lights are coming from the computer screens because my head hurts. And he brings me the bowl. He's like, here you go. I'm like, sweet. So I reach in, I grab a big bite of what I think is like, you know, the top layer of meat or whatever. All jalapenos. Which is not a big deal because I like the taste, you know, I like jalapenos. I like the taste of jalapeno, stuff like that. But I don't know if I'm the only one that gets this, but like my first like 2 bites of jalapenos, I hiccup. Is it just me?
Yeah, well, I mean, it's not me.
Okay. I don't know why. Like, in particular, it's jalapenos. Like, I can eat other peppers and not have that problem, but for some reason, jalapenos in particular. So, of course, immediately I get called on by the DM. Like, I'm like, 1 sec. Hey! Just like, hey! Like, crazy hiccup.
Nice.
He's like, what the hell was that? I'm definitely dead. 100% dead here, right? Like, yeah, I just died. There's nothing I could, I don't think realistically there was anything I could have done there. We had 3 or 4 stacks of this Soul of Cruelty dot before we even, like, we still didn't even get to the end there, so. Like, maybe we could... Now that we know he's there, maybe we could rush him, but I think we're just dead again. I think it's probably going to be at least 2 more deaths to get 2 of this guy. I don't know, we got 2 of him. Alright, we got him. But we still have 3 dots, so we still got to get out before we get melted. So many dots. And Beef said he thought that I'm too mad to drink a poison pot. He said supposedly that the poison will prevent you from doing the poison over time damage, but I do not see that to be the case.
I wonder if the excuse me. I wonder if the alchemist is gonna have any kind of resistance to poison or something.
Yeah, maybe.
Gotta be, right? I mean,
I have no idea. I don't know where they're basing anything from. I literally have no idea what they're...
Well, 5th edition doesn't have an alchemist yet, right? So it's gotta be 3.5.
It doesn't have to be. It could be Pathfinder.
No, they're not gonna use Pathfinders.
Why not?
Can they?
Why not?
Wizards of the Coast.
They could probably take any, like, for making a new class. I bet they could, like, model it off of anything. I mean, really, what's stopping them from modeling off of Pathfinder-esque? Like, yeah, you can't say this is where we're modeling it from, but they can be like, hey, we're taking a lot of ideas from classic artificing, or alchemists from the past, and it's what we have for our current general goals. And what's Wizards going to do? Like, oh, we don't have our 5th edition one. Oh, I don't want to do this optional. We currently don't have our 5th edition guy in place, so... No, it's just not.
I'm pretty sure, right? That don't have alchemists in 5th edition.
I don't know of. Gotta be down this way, right?
Mr. Bro was talking about the other day, but he was also, like, from what it sounded like, he was talking about the Pathfinder.
Yeah, the new Pathfinder alchemist is what he's talking about. Yeah, there's a group of people who are really excited for the Pathfinder 2 coming out. Oh my goodness! Somehow we managed to get to the front of the quest.
Game's slow right now, and I don't know if I want to buy one or not.
Yeah, I mean it's. I have not looked at the Pathfinder 2 book yet, but the playtest stuff I'm not super thrilled about at the moment. I think they have some interesting ideas, but
That's the way it was with Abrel. I asked Abrel how I liked it the other day, and he's like, "All right, well, I need to split that question into two. Part one,
exactly.
the system."
That is exactly what it feels like.
He ranted for like half an hour.
It feels to me like they're, and I don't hate this idea, but it feels like they're turning the game into how you play a computer program, right? Like it's more of a coders is very much how a programmer looks at a game. And as a programmer, I can contest that is how I look, a lot of how I look at the game. Breaking it down into these kind of actions, or trying to apply, like if I was going to computerize a game, this is how I would do it. Right? And it feels like that's what they're doing, is they're laying the ground rules, not just for the game, but also for to like digitize it. Which is cool, but doesn't always feel good.
Right.
So like they have... So I'm most familiar with the Bard, right? Because that's what I've been playing. So in the current Pathfinder playtest, which is the one that I've been fiddling with, I have not fiddled with the new rules came out yesterday. So I've not looked at the official book yet. Let's see, we gotta move the yellow one. I have to remember how to do this puzzle too. So anyway, alright, so let's start with the clean run. You get 3 actions, and those actions can be used to move or attack or whatever, right? Which makes sense. The problem is, like, a lot of stuff takes 2 actions to do. It's like you want to cast a spell, that's 2 actions. You want to do something else, it's 2 actions. And you can only do 2 actions of a similar type. Together. Oh, Remington must have taken over the music, so sorry about that, everybody. I do appreciate it when he does that without telling me. That's very handy. Alright, let's turn up some music here. So, like, a Bard song now, you can sing a Bard song infinite number of times, which is cool. But you have to use one of your actions every turn to keep up your Bard song. And that's kind of irritating when you also want to, like, cast a spell or move or attack, right? Like, it takes up a third of your ability to do something.
Yeah.
And it only lasts for the next round. So if you don't complete, then, or not complete, that's it. That's all you got. It's the end of your turns. So, like, a lot of times, my character's entire turns in the Pathfinder playtest has been, I'll do my Bard song. Ooh, we got the armbands. Is this any good? Not for us. So, my whole action is, alright, well, I guess I'll do my Bard song, and then I will do my one attack, my one ranged attack. Because I can't move, then. Or, alright, well, I guess I will cast shield, do my Bard song, and then move. Because you just get so... Like, a lot of those things don't have durations on them. You have to do them every turn. So, like, shield, for example, if you're going to cast shield, it's a cantrip now. Instead of being a first level spell, which is nice. But that means you have to cast shield every single turn.
Yeah.
So, there goes one of your actions. So, if you're... Again, some of those little things like that are not that big of a deal, but when you play Dungeons and Dragons for 20 years and you're used to certain other things, having durations or doing this or doing that.
Yeah.
So, like, one of the things that Tobrel did, because he realized how aggravating it is he gave me a magic item that basically lets me sing my Bard song for free. Right? If I want to. Which is really helpful, because then I have the ability to move and attack if I need to every turn. Or move or attack and cast shield, or so in that regard it's really nice. It's also really nice because if you have enough actions, then you can cast 2 spells. Like, if you're not going to move, then you can cast 2 spells if you have enough actions to be able to do that. So it's nice in that regard, and it's bad in that regard. But otherwise it's fine. It's just a different set. The other thing is... Go ahead.
With it. Brella didn't seem very happy with it when I asked him about it.
Yeah, no, he went and bought every copy of the books, though.
Yeah.
So, like, one of the things that this did, and DDO has started doing it as well. So, like, now the class ability gives you a feat, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that feat basically is the power. So, like, it doesn't matter, for example, that the only class that can get that is X class, like Rage. Right? So instead of you get the ability Rage as a barbarian, now it's you get the feat Rage. And then Rage is now you gotta go look up Rage. Right. Or it's like, that's not necessary to go look up Rage. Or like, for you to get your shield bonus to your armor class, you have to spend an action doing an ability called Raise Shield. It's like, so now I have to take the time to raise my shield to be able to use it. Well, but on the flip side, if you're a caster casting your cantrip shield spell every turn, you're spending an action raising your shield every turn.
Mm-hmm.
But now, like, fighters get the action that grants you the ability to raise your shield. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like, again, if you're a computer program, it makes a lot of sense, like, to do it that way. Then you can just go, alright, well, you get this power, you get this power, you get this power. But if you're a person playing, it's like, I'm a fighter, what do I get? You get these 14 powers that go on your sheet that just grant you other powers. It's like, why is it so complicated?
Right.
But like I said, other than those kind of things, I think it's a fine system. Okay. I still prefer, I think 3.5 is my favorite still. Yeah. 3.25 would be the best. All the things that were fine in 3rd, but they broke in 3.5, and then all the things they fixed in 3.5 that were stupid in 3rd. There's like a half step in there that was just like the perfect edition in Dungeons and Dragons.
So I just literally got thought seized in standard.
Yeah,
The treasure event, he like shocked in a watery grave and then used the treasure to cast thought erasure. That's like literal.
Oh. Yeah, it's pretty close. I'd love to play some 3.5 or Pathfinder 1 again. Yeah, I'm actually thinking about doing a couple of special sessions where I take some DDO adventures and turn them into like a one evening module or whatever.
Yeah.
And then record those for the patrons or just in general. But and those would probably be like 3rd or 3.5. But we recently did some 3.5, maybe 5th edition, I don't remember. I did a session for Remy and his friends, and it was really fun. And if I had like a well-lit, good camera situation, I would probably have recorded it. Again, another adventure set in DDO that's not anything DDO related. Is that not the lever? Oh, the lever's over there. Who puts a lever on a couple of crates and expect that crate to do something?
I do.
Do you?
Yep.
I mean, I'm pretty crazy. I've never put a lever on a crate and expected that crate to like work a portal or something. That'd be like putting my remote control for my television inside of my refrigerator with no batteries and expecting it to work.
Is it hooked up to a potato?
Could be, I suppose, in this situation.
There you go.
You know how many potatoes it would take to power my remote control?
4.
That might be correct, I'm not sure. I'm not sure how many watts a potato makes. I'll ask Allegra or whatever it is in a second. Google. How many watts of power does a potato produce? One potato makes 0.8 watts. So, but you can cut, if you boil a potato for 8 minutes and cut it into 4 or 5 pieces, you can multiply it for each piece. So you can get 8 watts of electricity out of one potato if you boil it and then cut it up. So, most remotes take 2 AA's, right? Double A's are they 6 watts?
No idea.
I think they're 6 watts. I can't be right. I have to look. Let me see. You might only need 1 potato if prepared properly to work as your remote control. Batteries. Remember this, kids, in the future. You could grow your own batteries. Alright, I'm going to auto-attack this thing.
It's true, you could grow your own batteries.
Alright, how many watts of power does a AAA battery? Two watts. So yes, for 2, if you cut your potato in half, or sorry, into thirds, you could make enough power.
I don't understand how cutting it. How does that make it produce more?
Because you're getting it from more sources.
Okay.
So you would need two AAA batteries would be 4 watts of power. So if it takes the 1.8 basically times 2 to 4 sources or whatever. You need 5 potatoes. 5 potato wedges to make power. I dare each and every one of you to replace your AA or your AAA batteries with a boiled potato. Just shove it right inside your remote control box.
Send pictures and post it on Twitter.
Oh my goodness. Cray.
Your Twitter is just gonna be full of like remote.
Just like a battery like shoved into the top. Alright, I think I can skip the one quest that I don't like in the cogs for free, and I think we've done every quest in the cogs today. Except for that one, which I will happily skip for my saga. Potato remote. Oh, here we go, kids. Here we go. Bam. Baked potato. Oh, there's a man nipple. But a good thing we can get away with it now. There you go. There's a baked potato shoved inside of a remote control. There's one that's actually a baked potato called a couch potato. It is a remote control that looks like a potato.
Oh, I love it.
Oh my!
I love every bit of this.
Oh my goodness! So many craziness.
I love every minute of that.
All right, so like I said, I think that was that saga. Let's check and see. We did stay on a little later just to see about finishing the Cog saga. All right, I think that was correct. I would like to skip a quest free as a VIP. Yeah, I still don't know what any of these crafting components are for. I'm assuming they're crafting components. Sweet. Alright, rank 87, which means tonight we'll probably hit up the Veil pretty hardcore. Mm-hmm. And that'll probably take us into level 18, no problem. So we are, I don't want to say good to be ready to TR on Wednesday, but if we do if we do tonight's session and 2 sessions tomorrow on Tuesday, we might be able to TR on Wednesday. It depends. It depends on how much company we get / assistance.
Three more wins, and I have my unstable.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Get him. I haven't actually cracked. Well, I did crack it last night to try to finish my draft, and the black-white deck that I drafted a couple of weeks ago, I thought looked real good, but it like immediately timed out, and then I was able to get back and finish it yesterday. 1-0 games. 1-0 games. And then, good morning, Thakar. And then I drafted like this almost entirely black, splashing red for a couple of cards. And it's wrecking people. So, I don't know why black-white was such a big deal, but black splashing red is doing really good. I don't know. Anyway. I think with that, I'm going to basically get out of here. Again, thank you very much. I appreciate you guys spending some time with us today. Like, subscribe, follow as always. And I'll be back tonight. I don't know if the wife has anything going on tonight. If she does, I'll be back early. If she does not, I will be back at 10 o'clock as usual. But I got to make a bunch of phone calls. I got to get something to eat. And then I'm hoping, if everything goes really well, we might even get a bonus thing. Either I'll record it as a video. I'll think of that in 1 second. Either I'll record it, or I'll go ahead and I'll do a live thing. If the stuff comes to to work on the bus, I'll record something about it. Thakar says Rain said tomorrow she's the first one to stream at 1 o'clock Eastern. Well, she's probably the first person to start streaming at 1 o'clock Eastern. But 10 Eastern. Oh, is she on the DDO stream calendar now? Is that what's up?
Yeah. Rain started on DDO stream.
Oh, nice. Her first episode starts tomorrow. Alright, cool. Let me
Do
see.
you worry a little bit about her being able to follow the guidelines?
I'm not worried about it.
Well, just because, like, I've watched her stream and sometimes she lets stuff slip. You know?
Well, that's a problem for somebody else.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, we haven't updated the thing yet, so that's cool though. I'll have to do my best to try to catch some of that. But that means she's fighting me. Oh man. That's rough. No, is she? You know how late she's planning on going, Thakar? Because she might actually just be able to, like... She might be able to stream for a little bit and then throw people to me. 2 hours? That's perfect. Because then that means at... I will start just about the time that she's ending, and she can raid me. That'd be perfect.
I'll talk to her about it.
Yeah, I'll have to mention it to her. All right, everybody. With that, I will see you guys tonight. Again, keep an eye out to see whether or not I go live with like a Facebook Live or a Twitch Live. It'll probably be on Twitch if I do. Experimenting with the remote control and the gizmo. I can never think of what it's actually called. I want to say servo, but it's not a servo because it's an articulating arm. So an actuator, maybe? Anyway, hopefully we'll get that this afternoon, and I will be fiddling with it, and it'll be great. Alright, everybody, peace, much love. Is there anyone else streaming Dungeons & Dragons online right now? Nim is streaming, so let's throw it over to Nim. Because that is how we do. Alright, everybody, peace, much love, and we'll see you guys in a few hours.
Bye-bye.
I'm killing like 5 more seconds. I don't know what else to say, though. Alright, bye-bye, Toodles.
Bye.